चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी श्रीवास आदि गौरव हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम। भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। Hare Krishna. Can you see the PowerPoint section? So today we have to do 52 onwards. So let's see that Lord Shiva has started telling the Prachetas about how to pray to Lord Vasudeva. In 54, 44 to 52, Lord Shiva is talking about how to see the Lord and how to serve the glorious form of the Lord. So I'm just taken the shlokas where the Lord's form is described. So we'll just get in the mood. In text 44, Lord Shiva is saying that, oh Lord, I want to see you in the form which is very, very dear to all the devotees. And then he is talking about the beauty. Oh, you are so, some total of all beauty. You are all beautiful, you know. And he's telling you are glistening. Lord is effulgent. And the color of the Lord is spoken here as he's dark as a rain cloud. Then Shiva is thinking, okay, he has 4 arms, he has lotus-like eyes, he has very graceful eyebrows, he has a raised nose, very fine teeth, he has a nice forehead, and also decorated ears. Means he is having some kundalas in his ears. Next is said that, okay, Lord has beautiful curly hair also. And he's describing what kind of clothes the Lord is wearing. He's wearing lotus pollen, the cloth like lotus pollen in sense. And the earrings are also very, very effulgent, glistening. So then he's talking about that the Lord has worn a crown, he has a bracelet, he has necklace, he has anklets, belt, and the beauty is more with the things he is holding in his hands. That is the Shankhu, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. And he's telling that he's having lion-like broad shoulders. And then they are also glittering because he's having so many jewels. Most importantly, she was talking about the Kaustubha jewel and the Srivatsa mark on his chest, wherein Lakshmi resides. Then he's talking about the abdomen of the Lord. He's coming like from face down. So he's talking about the abdomen, which is like a banyan leaf, from where this universe is sprouting about. And also when the time comes, the whole universe is annihilated, that time it goes back again into his abdomen. And 51, he's talking about the back part of the Lord, attractive back hips. They are covered with a cloth and also a belt. And his feet are how very symmetrical, the calves, thighs, and knees are very, very elegant and symmetrical. This was the description we read until now. So today we are going to text number. Are you not able to hear me? I'm just seeing the messages. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So let's go to text number 52. Would anybody like to read?
Hare Krishna,
Dinesh
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Dinesh Prabhuji has raised her hand. Please.
Please. Hare Krishna. Padasharat Padma Palasha Rochisha Nakhadhyubhirno Antar Agham Vidhunvata Pradarshaya Shriyam Apasta Satvasam Padam Guru Marga Gurustamojusham.
Can you read
Translation
the translation?
by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, your two lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like two blossoming petals of the lotus flower which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nails of your lotus feet emanate such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me that form of yours, which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by you as the spiritual master. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Perfect.
Uh, Continue.
Yes. Oh, Sindhu Mataji has raised her hand. Let her read.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna Pranam. Sloka 52, purport, Mataji.
Yes.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva has thus described the bodily features of the Lord authoritatively. Now he wants to see the lotus feet of the Lord. When the devotee wants to see the transcendental form of the Lord, he begins his meditation on the Lord's body by first looking at the feet of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the transcendental sound form of the Lord, and the 12 cantos are divided in accordance with the transcendental form of the Lord. The first and the second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are called the two lotus feet of the Lord. It's therefore suggested by Lord Shiva that one must try to see the lotus feet of the Lord. This also means that if one is serious about reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he must begin by seriously studying the first and the second cantos. The beauty of the lotus feet of the Lord is compared to the petals of the lotus flower, which grows in the autumn season. By nature's law, in autumn, the dirty or muddy waters of rivers and lakes become very clean. At that time, the lotus flowers growing in the lakes appear very bright and beautiful. The lotus flower itself is compared to the lotus feet of the Lord, and the petals are compared to the nails of the feet of the Lord. Nails of the feet of the Lord are very bright, as Brahma Shamhita testifies. Ananda Chinmaya Satuchvala Vigrahasya. Every limb of the transcendental body of the Lord is made of Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala. Thus, every limb is eternally bright. As sunshine dissipates the darkness of this material world, the effulgence emanating from the body of the Lord immediately dries up the darkness in the heart of the conditioned soul. In other words, everyone serious about understanding the transcendental signs and seeing the transcendental form of the Lord must first of all attempt to see the lotus feet of the Lord by studying the first and the second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. When one sees the lotus feet of the Lord, all kinds of doubts and fears within the heart are vanquished. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in order to make spiritual progress, one must become fearless. Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhihi. Bhagavad Gita 16.1. Fearfulness is a result of material involvement. It is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.37. Bhayam Dvitiya Viniveshashatah Syat. Fearfulness is a creation of the bodily conception of life. As long as one is absorbed in the thought that he is this material body, he is fearful. And as soon as one is freed from this material conception, he becomes Brahma Bhuta or self-realized and immediately becomes fearless. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Bhagavad Gita 18.54. Without being fearless, one cannot be joyful. The bhaktas, the devotees, are fearless and always joyful because they are constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. It is also said, Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Bhagavatam 1.2.20. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, because no one has raised their hand. Please continue.
By practicing Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, one becomes fearless and joyful, Unless one becomes fearless and joyful, he cannot understand the signs of God. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana Mukta Sangasya Jayate. This verse refers to those who are completely liberated from the fearfulness of this material world. When one is so liberated, he can easily understand the transcendental features of the form of the Lord. Lord Shiva therefore advises everyone to practice Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, as will be clear in the following verses. By it is also stated, Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakchushunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Lord is the supreme spiritual master. The bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord is also a spiritual master. The Lord from within enlightens the devotees by the effulgence of the nails of his lotus feet, and his representative, the spiritual master, enlightens from without. Only by thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord and always taking the spiritual master's advice can one advance in spiritual life and understand the Vedic knowledge. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite katita hi artaha prakashante mahatmanah. Thus the Veda Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.23 enjoying that for one who has unflinching faith in the lotus feet of the Lord as well as in the spiritual master, the real import of the Vedic knowledge can be revealed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So we are. Prabhupada here is talking about how, in the first shloka, how the devotee should concentrate his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord that are adorned with the marks of thunderbolt. This is there in shloka number 328-21. A board, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orb of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. So, what do you mean by gloom? Gloom means someone is very sad, filled with darkness, very fearful. Uh, so then only one is very sad, right? So when you see the Lord's lotus feet, that gloominess, that sadness, that darkness from the heart will be gone. So one will become fearless. So why is this fearfulness for us? Why are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? That fearfulness, Prabhupada is telling, it comes because of, as a result of the material involvement. Because we are involved in this material world, so that fearfulness comes. Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunam Ja, we have read this shloka. This all these four qualities, Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, and Maithunam, these are all common qualities in man and animal, human beings and animal. So what is the difference? The difference is that human beings have been given some intelligence. Human beings have been given the ability to inquire about who we are, where are we coming from, where we belong to, what is our goal, what should I be doing, and what should I not be doing. These are the things a human being is the only one who can contemplate on, who can inquire about. Okay, so the one who can inquire about such things, one who can understand such things, then that person becomes Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He becomes Prasanna. He becomes fearless. He is freed from the material conception of life. He becomes Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta means what? He is self-realized. So devotees are basically, Prabhupada says that devotees are self-realized. They are fearless. That is why Krishna says, Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha in the first canto, I think second chapter, 20th shloka. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Why are the devotees fearless? Because they are doing Bhakti Yoga, they are serving the Lord. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, they understand the knowledge, the Tattva of the Lord Bhagavan. Mukta Sangasya, that's why they are freed from this material bondage and they become fearless. So here the answer is given. So how to become fearless is how to take part in devotional service. Once they take that, then automatically they will be joyful also. They will be prasanna manaso also. So Lord Shiva, therefore, is advising us to do bhakti yoga. Here in Prabhupada in the purport is mentioning that Srimad Bhagavatam, the lotus feet are first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are considered the lotus feet of the Lord. Third and fourth cantos are the thighs of the Lord. Fifth canto is the navel. Sixth canto is the chest of the Lord. Seventh and eighth canto are the arms of the Lord. Ninth canto is his throat, and 10th is his beautiful face. 11th is his forehead, and 12th is his head. So, whenever you want to understand the Lord, you need to start reading. When you're reading Bhagavatam, you need to start reading from first and second cantos. Okay. So, when you are seeing the Lord, also always remember to see Him from the lotus feet on to the face. So, how are we going to see the Lord? You need to meditate upon the Lord's feet first, looking at the lotus feet. Why the feet are compared to the lotus flower in a garden? Prabhupada is explaining why it is uh, in the autumn. Why it is in the autumn? Because that is the time when the rains come and all the water will be filled, clear water will come, lotuses will blossom, and they look very beautiful. So that is why the feet are compared to the lotus. Okay. So then here Brahmasam, the toenails are described. Toenails are like lotus petals and they are very, very bright. Means what? They are effulgent. There is light coming out of the toenails also. In fact, the whole body of the Lord, there is an effulgence coming out of it. Okay. So Brahma Samhita is telling Ananda Chinmaya Sad Ujvala Vigrahasya. How is the Lord body? It is Ujvala, very, very brilliant. So when you see the Lord, how it is, the analogy was given, right? When the sun rises, that analogy was given. You can just see that analogy once again. So that is how it will enlighten the devotees when the sun comes up. Sunshine dissipates the darkness of the material world. Same way, the effulgence emanating from the body of the Lord immediately dries up what? The darkness of the heart. Darkness is the sorrow, the fearfulness. Everything is gone when you see uh, the light, the lotus feet of the Lord. The next Shiva, so Lord Shiva is asking or advising everybody to practice this Bhagavat Bhakti Yoga. And how to practice this? How will you get that Bhakti Tattva? How will you understand or get the knowledge about the Lord? Then here Prabhupada is mentioning Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurunanditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Telling you need to pray that I am born in the darkest ignorance, and only who can open our eyes to that knowledge? Only the spiritual master can open my eyes. So now Prabhupada is telling the Lord from inside, from within the heart, He is the spiritual master for us. Okay, and from outside, the spiritual master opens our eyes with the torch of knowledge. So only great souls who have implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master, only for them the Vedas are revealed, not everybody. If just someone just goes and for the sake of passion, they say, okay, I want this guru, I am going to take initiation from him, then that knowledge will not be revealed unto such a personality. So if one has to understand the knowledge, then how one should be, you should have a complete faith in the Lord and also in the spiritual master. At that time, The Vedic knowledge is completely revealed unto us. So let us go to the next shloka. Text number 53. Please read. Anybody would like to volunteer?
Mataji, may I read, Mataji?
Yes, ma'am.
एतत् रूपम् अनुद्येयम् आत्मशुद्धिम् अपि सताम् योगो अभ्यद्यादः स्वधर्मम् अनुतिष्ठताम्. My dear Lord, those who desire to purify their existence must always engage in meditation upon your lotus feet as described above. Those who are serious about executing their occupational duties and who want freedom from fear must take to this process of Bhakti Yoga. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here again, Lord Shiva is telling that who wants to come out of that fearfulness, they have to accept this process of Bhakti Yoga. He is giving importance to this process of Bhakti Yoga. And how it starts? It starts by meditating upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna, would anybody like to read the purport?
Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. It is said that purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that the transcendental name, form, pastimes and entourage of the Lord cannot be appreciated by the blunt material senses. Therefore, one has to engage himself in devotional service so that the senses may be purified and one can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, however, it is indicated that those who are constantly engaged in meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord are certainly purified of the material contamination of the senses and are thus able to see the Supreme Lord face to face. The word meditation is very popular in this age amongst the common people, but they do not know the actual meaning of meditation. However, from Vedic literature, we learn that the yogis are always absorbed in meditation upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pashyantiyam yoginah. 12.13.1. Bhagavatam 12.13.1. This is the real business of the yogis. To think of the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva therefore advises that one who is actually serious about purification must engage himself in this type of meditation or in the mystic yoga system, which will help him not only to see the Lord within constantly, but to see him face to face and become his associate in Vaikuntaloka or Goloka Vrindavana. The word Swadharmam, as in Swadharmam
Anutishthata.
Anutishtatam, indicates that the system of Varnashrama, which indicates the occupational duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and which is the perfect institution for humanity, must be supported by Bhakti Yoga. If one at all wants security in life, generally people think that simply by executing the occupational duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, or the duty of a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi, one becomes fearless or securely attains liberation. But factually, unless all these occupational duties are accompanied by Bhakti Yoga, one cannot become fearless. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Please continue to read this.
Still there, Mataji?
Yes.
Anyone wants to read? Let them read, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Sure.
Sure. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. In Bhagavad Gita, there are description of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, etc. But unless one comes to the point of Bhakti Yoga, these further yogas cannot help one attain the highest perfection of life. In other In other words, Bhakti Yoga is the only means for liberation. We find this conclusion also in a Chaitanya Charitamrita in a discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Raya regarding a human being's liberation from this material world. In that discussion, Ramananda Raya refers to the scission of Varnashrama Dharma, and Lord Chaitanya indicated that the Varnashrama Dharma was simply external iho bahya. Um, Lord Chaitanya wanted to impress upon Ramananda Raya that simply by executing the duties of Varnashrama Dharma, one is not guaranteed liberation. Finally, Ramananda Raya referred to the process of Bhakti Yoga. Sthane sitah shruti gatam tanu varna mano bin Bhagavatam 10.14.3. Regardless of one's in condition of life, if he practices Bhakti Yoga, which begins with a hearing Shruti Gatam, the transcendental messages of the Lord through the mouths of devotees. He gradually conquers the unconquerable God. God is known to be unconquerable, but who is obviously hears the word of a self-realized soul conquers the unconquerable. The conclusion is that if one is serious about liberation, he not only should execute the occupational duties of Varnashrama Dharma, but should also engage in Bhakti Yoga by beginning hearing from a realized soul. This process will help the devotee conquer the unconquerable Supreme Personality of Godhead and become his associate after giving up the material body. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So text number 53. Is it not visible? The screen sharing is paused. Can you see the screen now? Text number 53. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning the transcendental name, pastimes, and entourage. Entourage of the Lord is whatever the devotees of the Lord. You cannot appreciate them by blunt senses. Blunt material senses means okay. But so how do we understand them? Only by serving Him, by engaging your senses in the devotional service. Then the senses will get purified, and then one can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For example, we can take the Lord when he went for Sandhi to Hastinapur before the Mahabharata war. He actually showed his Virat Rupa there, but nobody could understand. Nobody could, what Duryodhana is thinking that one of the mystic yoga, he is doing some Maya. That is why I am able to see this. Otherwise, there is nothing in this world. Why? Because he didn't do any devotional service, so he is not able to understand the supremacy of the Lord. If we compare with the Pandavas, they always served the Lord, so they understood who he is. So, if we want to understand the supremacy of the Lord, we need to engage ourselves in devotional service. Devotional service usually it will purify the senses, and then one can see the Lord. So those how you need to purify yourself, how you need to see the Lord, serve the Lord is constantly engage your mind, meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. So Prabhupada here is explaining that meditation nowadays is like they will just go anywhere. Oh, I am going to meditate upon the Lord, sit on one rock and meditate. That is not possible. Meditate means you have to engage in the Lord. How if you are doing some seva, completely engage in that. How beautifully I can decorate the Lord. If I'm doing the pagri, how beautiful I can do the pagri. With what many different colors, colorful cloth I can use, or what beads I can use. So much is there to meditate upon the Lord. like today I was reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that the devotees, uh, they serve the Lord to please the Lord. And when the Lord is pleased, when the Lord is happy, the devotees are happy. But they do not want to be happy at that stage. Why? Because they think that if I am happy at this stage, then I may not be able to further, serve the Lord. So they want to suppress that also. It is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita like this. So the devotees come constantly, they are meditating upon the Lord, how I should give pleasure to the Lord. That is what one has to do. And when we do that, this contamination is gone. The material contamination is gone, and then the senses get purified, and then you can see the Lord face to face. He's talking about Varanashrama Dharma, whichever Varana and Ashrama you are, whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or whether you are in a Brahmacharya or Gruhastha or Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, whichever ashrama, whichever Varna you are, it is not sufficient that you just follow the rules for that particular Varna and ashrama and then you get liberated. No, it is not like that. One has to perform these the work in these Varna and ashrama, keeping Krishna in the center. Then that becomes Bhakti Yoga. Then you are serving the Lord. Otherwise, it will not be serving the Lord. So the beauty of the lotus feet of the Lord is compared to the petals which grow in the earth. This was there in the last shloka. Yat pada pallava palasha. This is the shloka 422-39. The devotees, those who are engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, they can easily overcome. Easily overcome what? The hard knotted desires. We have so many desires. No, these desires will be gone, which are for some fruit. We are doing something as a business with Krishna. Okay, I will serve this, and then I'll get back to. So those desires will be completely overcome when you are serving the lotus feet of the Lord. And because this is so very difficult, that's why the non-devotees like jnanis and yogis, although they are very trying very hard, they are not able to get this. They are not able to stop their desires. They are not able to control their sense gratification. Therefore, it is advised. What is advised? But one has to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Which Lord? Who is the son of Vasudeva. This is one great devotee. He is Kulashekara Alvar from South India. Kulashekara was a king actually, and then he believed he is the greatest devotee of the Lord. So he is praying in his Mukundamala. जीवे कीर्तय केशवं मुररिपुं चेतो भज श्रीधरम् पाणिद्वन्द्वसमर्चयाच्युतकथा श्रोत्रत्वयत्वं शृणु कृष्णं लोकय लोचनत्वय हरे गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् जिघ्रघ्राणमुकुन्दपादतुलसी मूर्धन्नमाधुक्षजम्. So what he is telling that, oh Jiva, Jiva means your tongue, oh tongue, always do the Kirtana, always keep saying the name of Keshava. Then he's telling, oh mind, always keep remembering that person who has killed the Mura demon, Murari. Always remember about him. Panitvanva, what you need to do with your hands, always hold your hands in front of the Lord and always serve the Lord. Then he's telling, Samarchayachyuta katha shrotadroyatam shruno. Listen to the pastimes of the Lord with your ears. Do not do anything, any prajalpa, or do not hear anything which is not related to the Lord. He's telling Krishnam lokaya lochana dvaya lochana eyes. What do you need to do with the eyes? Oh, eyes, just to see the beautiful face of the Lord. Hare Rigachandri Upalayam. Then he's telling Jigra Grana Mukunda Pada Tulasi. Yugmalayam means Angri Yugmalayam means your feet, 2 feet. Use it to go to the temple of the Lord. And what you have to do with the nose, always smell the lotus, tulasi leaves which are offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Smell them. That will increase your devotion. And more than Namadoksham, what you need to do with your head, bow down in front of the Lord. So the one of the shlokas of the Mukundamala, which Kulashekara Arjuna has written. Let us go to text number 54. Lord Shiva is advising actually here that if one is very, very serious about this, about bhakti, about purification, then he should engage in himself in that meditation, okay, in the mystic yoga system, which will help him not only see the Lord, but also become an associate of the Lord, either in Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan. Can anybody raise hand for text number 54?
Mataji, can the same person read again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Bhagavan Bhakti Mata Labhyo Durlabha Sarvadehinam Swararajyasya Yapi Abhimata Ekantenatma Vidgatihi. My dear Lord, the king in charge of the heavenly kingdom is also desirous of obtaining the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. Similarly, you are the ultimate destination of those who identify themselves with you, Aham Brahmasmi. However, it is very difficult for them to attain you, whereas a devotee can very easily attain your lordship. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So here Lord Shiva is telling that even Lord Indra, king in charge of heavenly kingdom, means Lord Indra, also is desiring to do devotional service to the Lord. Okay? The Lord is the ultimate destination for everybody, whether they are saying Brahmasmi also, they are, for them the destination is the Supreme Lord only. But it is very, very difficult to attain the Lord. How we can attain the Lord? Only through devotional service. A devotee can easily attain your Lordship system. Let's read it further. Dinesh Prabhuji, please read.
Okay.
Prabhuji, please go ahead, please.
Prabhuji, please, you can. I will read next. Will you please read one paragraph? I will read then the next.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktav. This indicates that it is very difficult for one to attain the ultimate goal of life and reach the supreme destination, Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Vrindavana, simply by studying Vedanta philosophy or Vedic literature. However, this highest perfectional stage can be attained by the devotees very easily. That is the meaning of Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktav. The same point is confirmed by Lord Shiva in this verse. The Lord is very difficult for the Karma Yogis, Jnana Yogis, and Dhyana Yogis to attain. Those who are Bhakti Yogis, however, have no difficulty at all. In the word Swarajyasya, Swar refers to Swarga Loka, the heavenly planet, And Swarajya refers to the ruler of the heavenly planet Indra. Generally, Karmis desire elevation to heavenly planets, but King Indra desires to become perfect in Bhakti Yoga. Those who identify themselves as Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Supreme Brahman, one with the absolute truth, also ultimately desire to attain perfect liberation in the Vaikuntha planets or Goloka Vrindavana. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.55, it is said, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva visate tadanantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service, and one is, and when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Please read.
Thus, if one desires to enter into the spiritual world, he must try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can understand the Supreme Lord in truth. But without such understanding, one cannot enter the spiritual kingdom. One may be elevated to the heavenly planets or may realize himself as Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. But that is not the end of realization. One must realize the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Bhakti Yoga, then real perfection of life is attained. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning Brahma Samhita. What Brahma Samhita says? Vede Shudurlabha Madurlabha Matma Bhakto. The Vedas, just by reading Vedas, one cannot understand the Lord, Supreme Lord. Okay? One cannot attain the goal of life, ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is reaching Goloka Vrindavan, reaching Vaikuntha Dham, where the Lord resides. So only that stage can be attained by the devotees. Why? Because they are simply, they do not want anything. Lord says, I am ready to give them all kinds of bhakti, all kinds of liberation. But the devotees don't want it. What they want, they just want to serve me all the time. Yeah. So here Prabhupada is telling that Lord Shiva is also confirming the same point. He says it is very difficult for whether they are karma yogis, jnana yogis, dhyana yogis, they cannot understand the Lord. They have very so much difficulty. But for bhakti yogis, it is not so. Indra also wants to come and perform devotional service. And the karmis, they want to go to Swargaloka and enjoy those heavenly planets. So that is the difference. In 1855, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling that Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnata vishatetat anantara. Only by bhakti one can understand me. One is fully conscious of Supreme Lord, then he can enter into the kingdom of God. Yeah. So it is very difficult to for karmis or dhyanis. So only one can understand him by devotional service. Only one can enter when he understands, when he is fully conscious of the Supreme Lord. So we can ignore all the 14 planets, the above 7 planetary systems, and just by bhakti, we can jump onto this Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka. So Prabhupada is telling, simply practicing bhakti yoga, one can enter into the spiritual kingdom. One can get elevated. You can get elevated to the heavenly planets also. But anyway, it is temporary, so you are going to come back again. If you do not want to go in these 14 planetary systems and want to go back home directly to Godhead, then the best way is to do bhakti. So even if you are in Aham Brahmasmi stage, where people going for Brahma Jyoti, from there also you are going to fall down. So for them also ultimate is bhakti only, that perfection. To get the perfection, one has to do bhakti. There is no other alternative for anyone. So how Shiva is like uh, time and again he is stressing on the point of, yeah, do not study scriptures, it is not going to give you the ultimate goal. Do not do any karma yoga, no, no, that is not going to give you the perfection of life. No jnana yoga and no dhyana yoga also. But when you are combining all these three, keeping Krishna in the center, then that becomes bhakti yoga, and then you can easily attain the Supreme Lord. Okay, so last, so perfection of human life will be attained only when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit. When we understand that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul, we are eternally servants of the Lord, then only we can get the perfection of our human life. And to end it with Srila Prabhupada quote, let us read this. The human body is very rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. We have got this very, very rare human form of life. We need to make use of it. Although it is temporary, although it does not, last longer, it is just probably 80 to 100 years. But we need to make use of the time, whatever we have, and perform devotional service. Because neha vikramanasusti pratyavayo navikite swalpam apyasa dharmasya also rayate madhura. Swalpam, little bit also, if you are doing the devotional service also, we will get that complete perfection. So we need to have that much faith in Lord and to our devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for sincerely listening. I'm trying my best.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, that I want to take a screenshot of this regarding the form of Sri Krishna, which cantos represents.
Oh, that. Okay.
Ah, I have taken Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this time we will stop here. Is there any question, comment? Please let me know.